Welcome to Community Living Out Loud, brought to you by Community Living Mississauga. I'm your host, Peter Reynolds. On this podcast, we celebrate the lives of people who have an intellectual disability and the incredible work being done to advocate for them and their families. Through conversations with experts, advocates, and people with lived experiences, we hope to inspire and educate listeners on the importance of building strong, supportive communities. Let's get loud. It's never too early to begin teaching children about the importance of inclusion. That's why Community Living Mississauga's Early Childhood Education Resource Services team is dedicated to ensuring that children who have an intellectual disability can attend licensed childcare programs in their own community. The team has a simple philosophy. They believe that all children should have the support they need to play, grow, and learn alongside their peers in a welcoming and inclusive childcare environment. Joining us today to talk about this program are two people who put the super in supervisor, and that's Lisa Fantauzzi and Maria Jaramillo, Early Childhood Education Resource Services Supervisors at Community Living Mississauga. Lisa, Maria, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, perhaps I can start with you. For those that don't know, tell me about the Early Childhood Education Resource Services at Community Living Mississauga.
Sure. Our department is a part of a partnership with the Region of Peel, along with 3 other agencies. And together we create PIRS, which is Peel Inclusion Resource Services. We currently at Community Living Mississauga have the largest team of the 4 agencies. We have 22 resource consultants, 3 supervisors, 1 manager, and 1 administrative assistant. We serviced last year in 2023, we serviced 644 children. Currently, we are over 200 children already in our second month of the year. And we also service the largest number of childcare centers in Peel. Community Living Mississauga is currently in 92 agencies.
Maria, anything to add to that? It looks like, you've got obviously a lot of individuals who you're serving, and you seem to be, sort of well entrenched in the community.
Yes, no, I think Lisa covered most of it. I just gotta add that we keep growing as a team, and every day we're bigger and bigger.
But you could always be bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we will get bigger.
Maria, describe what a typical day looks like for an early childhood education resource consultant.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think there's a typical. Every day can be very different. But I would say generally resource consultants go out to a center in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon again. And in between those visits, they're usually doing paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork that happens behind the scenes. It can be progress reports for the children, created individual support plans for the children, emails, phone calls with parents, with the centers, with other professionals. They also collaborate a lot with other professionals. So sometimes they'll be attending appointments or having phone calls with those professionals. And that can include physiotherapists, speech language pathologists, occupational therapists, behavior consultants. So really, there's no typical day. Each day will look different, but there's a lot of things that they're doing. We're very busy.
So just to be clear, you have a family with a child who needs support. And the idea is that Community Living Mississauga has a consultant who's facilitating that support at a partner childcare center. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah,
yes. So we support the child. Sorry. Go ahead, Lisa, if you want to take it over.
So the family will make a referral through the Region of Peel website. And that referral comes after some discussions, possibly with their pediatrician or family doctor. The referral may come out of some concerns that the childcare center has shared with the family, and the family will decide to make the referral. They'll put the referral through the region appeal, and it will come to one of us, and we will hand it to the resource consultant that is supporting that particular center.
So, Lisa, tell me, why is it important to support children in a community-based childcare program?
Well, I think first and foremost, children learn from one another. They learn from being in the same space. They learn from being curious together. And when you're supporting a center full of children, part of the resource consultant's role is to help the center to make little changes so that they can be more accepting and accommodating to all needs. So our resource consultants will go in and they'll do simple little things that anyone can do in any center. Sometimes it's simply changing the direction of a table to allow for more children around the table. Sometimes it'll be lowering the height of a table so that a child in a wheelchair can access the things on the table or in the table, and then put other chairs around so it invites other children to come and play in the same space. Part of our role is to ensure that every center is able to accommodate any children's needs. And so by us working there, we're hoping to create more and more centers that are taking children of all backgrounds.
Fantastic. And Maria, by integrating people into a community-based program, it's a fantastic opportunity for the other children to learn about inclusion.
I agree. Yeah, it gives them a perfect example of what our community should look like. And it not only is beneficial to children with special needs, but also for children who are typically developing. So that's our hopes, that everybody can participate and everybody can be included, because it benefits us all.
Lisa, do you have any stories that you can share with us from your time at Community Living Mississauga?
Sure, I have so many. One recent one, we had a family with twins who was putting their children into childcare for the first time, and the parents were very hesitant. More so for one child who needed some extra support than the other, but met with our resource consultant, first had a lovely conversation, and went into the program a little hesitant but hopeful, and very quickly by the end of the first week was calling the resource consultant and just so happy that they made the choice to put the children in, because she was seeing progress with the child who needed the extra support, but also with her other child who was benefiting from being in a program together with his twin. And it's just stories like that where, the simplest little things of the brothers being together in childcare with other children, learning together, making the family comfortable is going to allow them, hopefully, when they go into later years in elementary school, a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more ready to continue their education.
As a parent, I know the stress of putting our child into daycare, and some tears were definitely shed. Maria, I can imagine that the consultants, there's a lot of hand holding with the parents as well, in addition to providing services for their child.
Absolutely. So not only we work with the educators in the classrooms, but we also work with the parents and we guide them through the process. And we give them resources and services too in the community that can benefit the family and the child. So definitely we create amazing relationship with these families because we work so close together with them.
Maria, how has the model of support changed over the years?
It has changed a lot. So I would say maybe 15 years ago, caseloads were very small, maybe 8 children for one resource consultant. Right now, the average of children on a caseload will be around 16 children. So we can say at least they have doubled. We also have a lot more resource consultants in our team. We are in a lot more childcare centers, so that has also increased the demand. But also the region of Peel changed our model back in December of 2019. We used to provide a lot of home support to the families. So resource consultants would go into the home, work with the families, model strategies, provide resources. And that stopped back in 2019. So then our services are now more focused to the childcare center. So resource consultants don't go into the homes anymore. However, they still provide, like I said, resources and strategies to the families, just not in person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lisa, how has the $10 a day daycare sort of implemented through the Canada Early Learning and Childcare System affected your team?
It's definitely brought us into more centers. So part of the agreement when a childcare center agrees to be part of the program is that they have a partnership with us and that we go in. So our demand to be in more centers has grown over the last year, and we expect it to grow within this year as well.
Maria, I'm just wondering what you envision as the future, of the program for you and your team.
Well, I know long term we're going to keep growing. I already see it. We're going to keep growing and growing, probably adding more staff to our group. But in the immediate future, I know for this year, our big focus is home licensed childcare. We will be focusing more our services and getting out to support those children that are attending home childcare.
What would you say is your biggest challenge moving forward?
I would say managing the caseload. We're seeing, like we've said before, we keep seeing more children looking out for our support, and we want to keep a balance between the numbers and the quality of service we are providing. So that's definitely a challenge I can see in the future.
Anything to add, Lisa?
I completely agree. I believe that our resource consultants are so committed to their work and the quality of their work, and the larger the demand for their services, the harder it is to maintain their level of quality that they've been accustomed to. So I believe that, like Maria said, our team will grow just so that we can continue to support the demands that are out there with the growing spaces that are expected to be in Peel within the next couple of years.
So you talked about the commitment that your consultants have to doing the work that they do. How do you stay motivated? I can imagine that the job can be challenging at times. Maria, perhaps we could start with you.
Personally, I think the positive stories and those success stories keep me motivated. I find a lot of joy when we hear those stories like what Lisa has shared before, and those really keep me motivated. I love my job, truly.
Lisa?
Motivation comes from every day being a little bit different, every day a challenge coming up. Maria and I supervise the resource consultants on our team, and when they come to us with a question or a concern and we brainstorm with them, it gives us a chance to use the skills that we've acquired throughout the years in this field. And then when we go out to visit the centers, we see the work, and it keeps me motivated to wake up every morning and come into work.
Maria, I'm just thinking about for those parents that are watching this, and if you can talk directly to them, and if you have any advice, or if there's any sort of preconceived notions that people might have, about the services, what would you say to parents out there who are watching?
I would say to them to not be afraid to look for support, that every single child that we have supported have succeeded and have done really well in the programs. Everybody sees the difference. The educators and the childcare centers are so thankful for our support because we truly are making a difference in so many people's lives.
Lisa?
So as a parent myself who has used these resources for my daughter when she was in care a few years back, it brings a sense of relief to know that I can get support outside of my house. And when I saw that the educators were struggling to support my daughter and they brought up PIRS, they didn't know where I worked. And it was hard and it was a little scary, but we made the referral and my daughter thrived after some time. And after a lot of work on everyone's part, she did so well in childcare. And so although it was scary, I'm so glad that we signed on and got the support that she needed and the support that we needed.
Fantastic. Anything to add? It's been a great conversation, but any final thoughts, Maria?
I would say I just hope that we continue to reach more children and more centers because, like I said, I truly believe we're making a difference. So I hope that we can reach more and more people.
Lisa, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to echo what Maria said and also say that our model of full inclusion is going to keep expanding. And we hope that it not only expands through Mississauga, but through the province and all over the world. I want this to be the standard of what childcare looks like for every child.
Lisa, Maria, thank you so much for taking the time today to talk about Community Living Mississauga's Early Childhood Education Resource Services team. It's clear how important it is to provide support to children who have an intellectual disability and to provide that support in a local childcare center where they can be with their friends. I guess it's truly never too early to begin learning about the importance of inclusion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
And as always, thank you to our audience. Your continued support is very much appreciated. And don't forget, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast app, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. We want to hear what you think. So, for Lisa, Maria, and everyone here at Community Living Mississauga, I'm Peter Reynolds. You've been listening to Community Living Out Loud, and until next time, stay loud.